Hello everybody, welcome to our live studio show here on MXGP TV with me, Paul Malin and Lisa Leyland. It's round 11 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. We're at Teushenthal for the MXGP of Germany. Today's guest, Davide De Carli, is the first one up for Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. We also have Conrad Mewse coming in and Thomas Kjer Olsen. But before we meet any of them, Lisa, here we are, semi-northern Europe. We're in Germany. It's not very warm, is it?
A little bit chilly, isn't it? But it is October, though.
Yeah.
And I can't remember ever coming here and it actually being warm.
It's always windy here as well, normally.
It's always windy, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
We can handle it.
8 rounds to go.
Yeah.
It's a breeze.
It's a breeze.
We'll make our way to the end of the season sometime in November. Anyway, let's catch up with our first guest, Davide De Carli from Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. And Davide, first of all, good to see you. Let's get straight in because you have 3 riders we need to talk about. We'll talk about the Motocross of Nations later. Jorge Prado, 4th place in the championship, only 12 points off the lead. It's pretty close in MXGP this year, isn't it? In terms of the racing, the level is pretty high. Are you pleased with how Jorge is riding this year?
I'm pleased at how he's riding at the moment. I think the season this year is really tight with the points. Only 12 points to the lead, is 4 in the championship, but everyone is really close to each other. Now he's doing really good. He feel better. He feel more confidence with himself, also with the bike. I think he will show some good skill in the next few races.
We're just looking at him here in Loket. Obviously, he has 4 podiums already this year, including the overall victory here. This was his first podium, his first win. How important was that victory in Loket for the championship, and more importantly for him and his confidence? Because Loket was, round 6 or 7, and that was his first podium.
Of course, it was really important for his confidence. He win the GP in Loket, but like you said, was also the first podium there. So after Loket, everything starts to go really well. The race was getting better and better. More podium after Loket. So you could see also how he's riding now. He's riding more confidence and relaxed on the bike. He will be for sure on fire for the last race of the championship.
Okay, and as for Mattia, he's 2nd at the moment in MX2. 5 podiums for Mattia. I think 2 GP victories. He had victory in Majora and Loket. Is that more than you expected from him in his first year?
You know, before the season starts, we sit together with Mattia, with my father, and we were speaking. Hey guys, is good if we take the top 5. Try to catch the top 5 every single race. It's good for us because you come from the European Championship. But I'm really impressive how he developed during this season. He win 2 GP already, 1 in Majora and 1 in Loket. Many podiums. Really good result. I cannot ask more for Mattia. I'm really happy.
With Mattia and Jorge, for example, what do you look for in riders before you sign them? I mean, is it speed, style, confidence, consistency?
You know, together with KTM, we always work to find a new talent for the future. You know, that's our job. That's our goal. There is a lot of work behind also from our side. A good rider needs to have good characteristic, but to be a champion, you need to have even more characteristic.
The favourite thing about this weekend was he didn't know he had the championship red plate.
Yeah, it was a special day. Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about Tony. 36 years old, having another fantastic season. It was a shame that he had the crash in Riola 2 weeks ago, because he could have been sort of challenging for the championship again. Maybe he still is, who knows. But even though he is 45 points off the fight, maybe now there is less pressure. You think now maybe this is when he could be his most dangerous, that the other riders, they are so involved in their battle that he can just kind of sneak back in and challenge again for the championship?
Before Riola, before he make the crash, he was really confident. He was so fast on the bike. Everyone didn't expect it because was almost leading the championship. So at 36 years old, year by year we are talking always about him, but he's always there. Now, of course, after Riola, you have a bit pain everywhere, also because he raced the nation. That's taking him a lot of energy. Now he need to be back in shape. He's not fit 100%, of course, but if he feel better, of course, he's gonna fight for win the championship, of course.
Well, no matter what happens in the next 8 races, you know, Team Italy, with Tony on the team, lifts the Chamberlain Trophy on home soil in Mantova. I mean, just a magical moment for everybody. Yeah,
well, it was special day. It was really special day in a difficult condition for us because the track was really rough. It was like a Netherlands condition with bad weather, but they really fight. I'm really happy this year about the team because all 3 riders, Tony, Mattia and Lupo, they always train together all the year. That's why it was a magical atmosphere. It was like a really friend group that they had a real goal. They really wanted to win the nation after so many years. Also the presidents and Thomas, they really feel a lot this race, and everyone was really happy, unbelievable. It will stay forever in my heart.
It was nice that there were some Italian fans there because the podium was still special, but I mean, it doesn't get much better than to win, if it's a world title or a Motocross Nations, to do it at home in front of the fans. Did you celebrate?
We celebrate after the race. Of course, many people came in our tent. The tent was quite full. You also was there, Lisa.
I mean, we
sing the national.
It's so nice anthem. It's just so special, isn't it?
Was special. If this race was in the end of the season, for sure it's gonna be a big party. But for sure we will remember that.
Absolutely. Well, look, congratulations, Team Italy, winning the Motocross of Nations last week, finally with Tony in the team as well. But it was a great team effort, and we wish you all the best for the next 8 races, not just for Antonio, but also for Jorge and Mattia as well. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you to everyone. Thanks, Lisa and Paul.
No problem. Thank you. Right, our second guest is waiting to come in and join us, but before we catch up with Conrad Mewse, let's check some highlights from Riola 2 weeks ago, which is when MX2 was last in action. Here's highlights from race 2. Doesn't look like Ruben Fernandez will line up for race 2. The Fly Racing 15-second board up. Oh, and look at that, Guadagnini pushes on as a rider being dragged down the start straight there. Somebody here, he gets cut across there by De Beaton or
De Wolf.
De Wolf. Unfortunate for Langenfelder and Hoffer. Out to the inside, Guadagnini to the outside. Out trying to disappear on the opening lap, but Guadagnini looking strong on this opening first few corners. He runs down the inside and then knocks himself down. Maxime Renault still not able to find his way around the outside of Bastien Baudin, but now he puts himself into a good position to do so, moves into second place. On the pegs, lower back, thighs are going to be feeling it. Good long distance jump there from Jargo Geerts as he breezes past Baudin. Beniston down the other side of the jump, and look at that. Kjer De Wolf couldn't avoid him. Big crash for Beniston and De Wolf. Sometimes you make your own luck, sometimes it's created for you, in and around you. Kjer De Wolf down the inside of his teammate Jed Beaton takes over 5th place from the Australian. Oh, how much more of the track do you want to use, Kai? Not once, but twice. And Guadagnini, that is going to be costly for his championship, and Renault goes through.
He loves to see that.
And he would like, as you said, he would love to see that. Diogo Kjer goes to 2nd position at the same time. Yeah, disappointment there from Mattia Guadagnini. Yeah, battery. Tom Vial with his 3rd Grand Prix victory in a row. An absolutely perfect day here in the deep sand of Riola Sardo. Maxime Renault 2nd overall. Kjer De Wolf 3rd for the 3rd podium visit for the young Dutchman. Maxime Renault extends his lead now over Mattia Guadagnini. 3rd overall, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna's Kjer De Wolf. 2nd overall, Maxime Renault, Monster Energy Yamaha. Good day at the office. But the winner here at the MXGP of Sardinia, Riola Sardo, Tom Vial, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Valentino Ragni, the team coordinator there for Red Bull KTM, will take the team trophy this weekend. Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland, where we are in Germany, Teushenthal, for round 11 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. Conrad Mewse joins us now from Hitachi KTM, fueled by Milwaukee.
I knew you were going to do that.
I know, I couldn't resist. Conrad, good to see you, and good to see you back sort of, you know, riding the World Championship, because, you know, we'll probably break it down a little bit. Looking at your championship position at the moment, doesn't really tell the full story, doesn't it? You've not been around. Is it kind of, you know, how would you describe it coming into this point?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been an up and down year. Obviously I had the British Championship, which I was leading, and obviously with the sickness in Russia at the start of the year and things like that, and it took me some weeks to get back to kind of feeling good and feeling 100% fit. So we were kind of out of getting a good result in the World Championship, you know. So we focused on the British Championship, obviously, and it was nice to get that wrapped up a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, it's been a bit of an up and down season, really, as far as results wise goes. I couldn't even tell you where I am in the championship. I haven't even looked. So I'm just trying to tick weekend off by weekend in. Yeah, just try and get some good points on the board for the weekend, really, not overall in the championship.
Well, with a stacked calendar that we have, you know, race after race after race, and your British Championship commitments, has it at times felt a little bit disjointed for you? You know, because you've had to, you want to be in MXGP and MX2, but you've also been pulled there because of the team's commitments back home.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the best I ever feel is when I race with these guys week in, week out. You know, like, learn the racecraft, like the intensity and all of like that. So it is disappointing when I have to go away for a couple of weeks and come back and you feel like, oh, this is a bit new again and all things like this. So yeah, it's a bit difficult in that aspect. But I mean, at the end of the day as well, we've got a lot of sponsors coming from the UK, which also like to see a British champion. So we had to tick that one off of the calendar as well.
Sure.
Well, it looked like things had turned around in Belgium. A good start, a good qualifying session for you, a good start in race one. How did it feel to just be up there at the sharp end again?
Yeah, it was nice. It was definitely good. I mean, like, obviously the sand as well. Belgium's a track that I like, Lommel. So it was nice. I feel comfortable around there, and obviously I'd done a lot of work there as I was a kid. So yeah, it's one of the tracks that I'm kind of familiar with. But again, like, I've never really kind of doubted my speed to be up the front. I've never really thought, oh, I shouldn't be here, or this isn't kind of me, or anything like this. It's just putting myself to be in that position on the start, and that's all it is, really. And that's what's quite difficult, you know. Like, obviously, you can see here, I think I'm racing against Benestant or Renault, one of them. But yeah, like, trying to get off the gate with these guys on factory bikes is difficult, you know. So it definitely doesn't make it easy for me. But like, if I could get out that gate in the top few most weekends, like them guys do, I believe that I would be in contention for getting some podiums and hopefully race wins.
Well, then here's the disjointed bit. After this, you then had to miss 3 rounds: Latvia, Afyon, Turkey. Just as you were finding your stride, just how frustrating was that for you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I kind of just like found my feet again there. Like, I got 2 good starts, which was great. I was running at the front and I was really feeling good. And obviously then we had to go back to the British Championship and we had some weeks off, and it felt like when I went back to Sardinia, it felt like forever since I'd raced the last GP. So it was difficult, but I mean, Sardinia for me I didn't set the world alight, but I had 2 consistent results, and it was a stepping stone of what's to come for the rest of the year, really.
Well, you just mentioned it. Sardinia, it was good to have you back there anyway, and you just said it was good to be back there, but it looked like you just kind of had to find your feet a little bit, just, you know, picking up the pace. Is that how it felt? Yeah,
almost. Like, obviously it was, again, getting the starts and things like that, and the first few laps, like, almost wasn't used to just, like, wow, like, he's come past me there, like, do you know what I mean? I wasn't kind of used to that, and that's all it's down to, really. Like I said, it's racing with these guys week in, week out is a completely different ball game. And I'm just glad to be able to do that for the rest of the season, and hopefully get some great results doing it.
But was it actually good to get Sardinia under your belt before the Nations, just to be back in the mix, you know, with the GP riders and the regulars there? Yeah,
no, definitely. I did say that. I said that to my team, that it was nice to kind of go back to a GP and race with the guys again, you know. Obviously it was like the kind of MX2 class at a GP is obviously a little bit tougher than what it is at the Nations, because you've got quite a good few riders from each country, you know, and obviously one of them only gets selected for the Nations. So yeah, it was good. It was nice to return there, and like you said, race with them guys before I did make my MX Nations debut.
How was your first Nations experience? Were you nervous going into the weekend? Because if you were, it didn't look like you were.
Yeah, so it was. I was nervous. Obviously, I almost felt like that the results wasn't just on me, it was on Team GB, you know, it was on everyone at home watching and things like that. So it was a little bit more pressure than usual, but I felt like that brought the best out in me, especially on Saturday. Sunday for me was very difficult, like the change in weather was unbelievable, and it was just always going to be difficult on a 250 in them conditions, with one race being on the outside gate pick and things like that. So Sunday was a bit of a, almost like a bit of a lottery almost, you know, especially for a 250 rider. So I was a bit gutted that I couldn't have a proper race on Sunday, because I felt really good on Saturday and I like Mantova as a track. So I was a bit gutted in that aspect, but yeah, overall we done great as Team GB, and we put it on the box for the 4th consecutive year, I believe.
Well, this was Saturday, obviously the qualifying race. We saw the clip there where I think 3 passes and 3 or 4 corners to get you into 3rd. You just ran out of time. But and obviously the cleaner images on Saturday than Sunday. But on the podium, great feeling, no doubt. I mean, we're almost out of time, but great to be on the box. Yeah, no, definitely. It was a fantastic weekend, and hopefully I can be back again one year.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, we are out of time. Thanks for joining us, Conrad Mewse.
Thank you very much.
And all the best for the next 8 races now, because you're going to be here, from now to the end of the championship, I believe.
Yeah, no, I'm here every race now. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to getting some solid results in, and finish the year on a high. So.
Cool.
Brilliant.
All right. Well, look, all the best for this weekend and the rest of the season, Conrad Mewse. We will be back in a moment with Thomas Kjer Olsen after highlights from race 2 weeks ago in Sardinia. The fly race in 15-second border for the final time today here at the MXGP of Sardinia. We know from the battles that he's had with his own teammate within that garage, Jorge Prado, he is not going to make it easy for this fella right here who goes around the outside. Tim Geiser still in 12th place at the moment. But does he find his way past Benoit Paturel here?
Has to keep it smooth. Goes around the outside of the Honda SR Motor Blues rider. Yes, he does. And he's actually up to 10 because he's found his way past Ferrato as well. How hard he is having to work here. Prado closes down the gap, going down the next straight. Are we going to say a change for the lead? He's going to be aggressive. He'll cut to the inside. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Got 2 or 3 points in the championship battle between the first 3 riders. Oh, how brave was that? Hurlings was already committed to the outside. I'm not sure if Prado tried to close down the door and didn't realize the space he had to work in was 0. Got alongside Jorge Prado. Prado was middle, and then he tried to close down the gap. Watch this. Realised he could hear him. He was committed to the inside, and that, if that would have ended in tears, that would have been all down to the 61. So every championship point counts. As it stands right now, Jeffrey Hurlings on 371, Geiser on 369, Fevre on 367. So as he goes past Bogas and into 8th place. Final turn. Red Bull KTM Factory Racing's Jeffrey Hurlings. Not as straightforward as race 1, which was a start to finish win, but he does take the win here and the overall victory. He's not sure on the outcome in the championship just yet. Prado crosses the line 2nd, 3rd for Roman Fevre. What an effort for Tim Geiser. Jeffrey Hurlings then goes to the top of the championship standings. He is 1 point clear of Tim Geiser, who loses a point and loses that championship leader's red plate for the first time this year.
Everyone, welcome back to the final part of our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our third and final guest is in now. Getting ready to talk to us from Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing, Thomas Kjer Olsen. Good to see you, Thomas. And here we are in Germany. But in terms of the championship, 12th in points at the moment. Has moving up from MX2 kind of been harder than you expected it to be, or are you pretty much where you thought you would be?
I would say for sure it's been harder. It's been a challenge for sure, and I feel like this year a lot of things has also happened. I've had some good rides, but many times I followed it up with a mistake in the second motor or something like that. But just racing the bigger guys is definitely tough, and once my start hasn't been that great, and it's just difficult to pass guys, to be honest.
Obviously, training in the week is one thing. Racing at this level is completely something else. What is the biggest thing or the hardest thing you've had to sort of adapt to riding in MXGP or racing in MXGP?
I think just how to manage the race is like you want to push really hard if you don't get the best start in the first couple of laps. And the 450 is a heavier bike, so just like the braking bumps is way more physical on you. Like it's a tougher bike to handle, so sometimes I've been spending my energy a little bit too much in the beginning instead of just being up there with the guys and going with the flow.
Okay.
6th overall in the first round, but it has been a little bit, like you said, up and down since then, despite putting in some top 10 rides. Does that just show just how tough MXGP is at the moment?
Yeah, I think it does, and yeah, to be like you asked me before, I definitely do think it's tougher than I thought.
Yeah.
I was always looking a bit forward to going to the 450 class, like more power, this and that, and it has been really fun and stuff like that. But it's definitely tough to race against the guys, and once you're a little bit off, it's you're a lot off, like you're a lot more positions down. So
the intensity is higher.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Well, as an MX2 rider, you experienced triple headers last year, but how tough will it be this year as a 450 rider with the intensity to the end of the season? I mean, do you have to change anything in your training or your riding or anything like that?
I I think, yeah, I don't really know, to be honest.
Because we've got, like, you know,
Yeah.
you were in Sardinia, you raced the Nations last
Yeah,
week. We've
yeah.
still got 8 races to go in sort of 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
So there's a lot packed into
Yeah.
that period. So are you going to be switching things up, or is it just riding from one week to the next now?
I think at the moment I'm not full on practicing like too much between the weeks, because it's just it's like 8 races in 6 weeks or something like that. So it is really intense. And once the triple headers come, it's pretty much just racing and recovering. In between, we did like a double header in Turkey, and it was really warm there, and we were also a little bit up. So in between those races was just focus on recovery and getting ready for the next race.
Yeah.
We need to talk about what happened last weekend.
Yeah.
Race 1, Motocross of Nations. Where did this performance come from?
I think, first of all, it came from a good start and just me maybe having a little bit pressure on, and it's a different race and stuff like that. To be honest with you, I didn't feel like I did anything that I haven't done this year.
Okay.
It is different class, and maybe like you guys talked about, there is not all the same guys, so things just clicked a little bit more, and it's not like I felt like I was riding completely different than I have for the rest of the year. The MXGP class is just really tough.
I don't believe there's been a Danish race winner in Motocross of Nations history, has there?
No, I don't think so, and that's for sure a big thing, even just to win a moto in the MX of Nations. And it's been a while since I've been in a leading position, so once I got there, honestly, I was a little bit like, oi, this is kind of new a little bit, and I had to manage that.
Well, that was something I was going to ask as well, because obviously, biggest stage, Motocross of Nations, tricky conditions, you're leading, and you're in a position that no Dane has been in that situation before, about to win a race. How did you keep your nerves in check once you found your way past? I'm going to call him Carlos Fabulous, because he was last weekend.
Yeah, after that, like, actually I pumped up a little bit, like in the beginning, was riding a little bit tight, but Vial was kind of starting to get on my back and pushing me, and I was just telling myself, just look ahead and just make life as difficult on him as I can. And actually, like that, just focusing only on myself, I started to find better lines and just be more smooth. And he did. I think there was one time he made like a big challenge, and I fought that off. And then after that, I just found a good flow and was riding like myself. But yeah, for sure, it was different to all of a sudden be in the lead and had to manage the lead. Yeah.
Has that race win kind of flicked a switch in you where you think, actually, I can do this MXGP thing now?
Yeah, for sure. It's a big motivation. And there has been some tough weekends where I kind of had to pick myself up on the Monday after. It can be tough, especially after me having a lot of success in the 250 class. It's when in the 250 class, when you're on the podium, you're always like, you get some kind of spark, and like the next week just goes way easier. But there hasn't been too much of that in the MXGP class, so that's something I had to work with a bit. And this weekend to get a race win like that, it's a big motivation.
All right, more from Thomas in just a moment, but just another quick reminder about MXGP TV and how and where you can watch it. So don't forget, the best place to watch MXGP uninterrupted and commercial-free is right here on MXGPTV.com. And apart from MX2 and MXGP, this weekend also sees the return of EMX 125 in EMX 250. And they'll be on the programme pretty much with us right the way to the final round in November. So if you want your racing fix, then jump on the MXGP TV bandwagon. So we've got about 30 seconds left. Thomas, after your race win in the Nations last weekend, what is the plan now for the next 8 races? Good start, stay up front, and try and get inside that top 10?
Yeah, for sure. That's been my plan for the most of the year. The starts hasn't really been working out, but I've been practicing them a lot lately, and I need to be better. If I want to be up there in the top 10, I need to be better off the start directly. It just makes the life a lot more easy in the race, and yeah, just ride a bit like I did at the Mix of Nations, a little bit more loose. I've been getting a little bit tight in the qualifying sometimes, so if I can just loosen up, get a good gate pick, get a good start, and ride inside that top 10, I'll be happy.
All right, well, hopefully you're going to be happy for the next 8 races. And Thomas
Yeah,
Gerald, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing, thanks for joining us. We are out of time, but if you want to catch live racing today, of course, then we're going to be EMX 125 race on at 1:05, and then we're 1:55 for EMX 250 race 1. So just those races today, and we're back live tomorrow 9:30 for MX2 time practice. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a week's time when we go to the MXGP of France. Take care. Enjoy the racing.